Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Red Alert Lab. This is the video number 55. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have finished the topic of securing Office 2016 based on the recommendations of the Department of the Defense and the Defense Information System Agency of the United States. We will now discuss a new topic, which is to secure Adobe Reader DC Continuous. We all know that there are two versions of Adobe Reader. The first one is the normal Adobe Reader DC, which is used to view PDFs, okay, or electronic books, as we say, or electronic documentations, okay. And the other one is Adobe Reader DC Pro, which is a program used to edit the PDF, okay. So Adobe Reader DC can only view the PDF, but Adobe Reader DC Pro can edit the PDF. So if you have both products should be secured. But we will talk about today about Adobe Reader DC, which is the most popular one, and Adobe Reader DC, it's for free. But as for Adobe Reader DC Pro, the one that used to edit PDFs, you should purchase it, or you should have a license. So let's begin today our new topic of securing Adobe Reader DC Continuous. This is the version 2 of this release, or this recommendations. It was released at 23 of July 2021, okay. There is more updated versions of this recommendations, so you need to check the website of the Department of Defense. By the way, you can go and download all of the recommendations of the Department of Defense for all of the different products from this link. You can go there and go to SRG STIG library completions, and then you can load a zip file. This zip file contains all of the PDFs or all of the recommendations of the Department of Defense in HTML format. You can use it and check it, okay. And there is another thing: if you need to apply group policies, so you do not want to apply these recommendations manually, so you need to create a group policy and then begin to apply these recommendations by making the group policy one by one. You can import a group policy, so they have ready-made group policies that contains all of their recommendations. You can just import it directly to the Active Directory, okay. How we can see this? Let me show you all where are these PDFs reside, or where are these recommendations and the ready-made group policies by the Department of Defense. So let's go to important CD images, and then we can go to, this is all of the recommendations of the Department of Defense in zip files, okay. All of these recommendations for different products, okay. And as for the group policies, so for example, if you need to apply the group policy of securing, just a minute again. So for example, if you need to apply a group policy to secure Adobe Reader DC Continuous, you just can go there, and these are the group policies. Just import it to your Active Directory or import it to your Group Policy Management Console. This is our ready-made group policies, okay. So you can just import it directly. We can see these are different group policies for different products. This is one for the Mozilla, this is one for the Edge, this is one for the Office, this is one for the server. So all of these are ready-made group policies. You can just import it to your Active Directory to implement it directly to the servers and the workstations. And these are templates, group policy templates for different products. This is the group policy template for Adobe, group policy template for Google, group policy templates for Microsoft, for Edge, for Mozilla, for Office, for OneDrive. So these are group policies templates. You can use it, okay, to manage different products, okay. You can download different group policy objects from this website, so you can go also and get these group policy objects from here, okay. So let's begin the first recommendation to secure our Adobe Reader DC. The first one says that PDFs has evolved from static pages to complex documents with features as interactive forums, multimedia content, scripting, and other capabilities. These features leave PDF vulnerable to malicious scripts or actions that can damage the computer or steal data. So we all know that the PDFs in the beginning was only just a document. Okay, it is similar to a Word document, but it is uneditable. Okay, so you cannot change anything in it. Okay, it's only consisted of text. Okay, plain text. There is nothing else. Okay, but by the time the PDF forums or the PDF extensions or the PDF files begin to evolve, so you now can see in the PDF you can have interactive forums. You can fill forums in the PDF to be submitted later to a web server or something. You can see multimedia in the PDF, so you can see some graphics in the PDF. You can see some animation in the PDF. Okay, in the PDF also you can click on links to open in a browser. Okay, this all was not there in the PDF in the old days. So in the old days the PDF only contains text files. Okay, or sorry, contains texts. It doesn't contain links, doesn't contains animations, doesn't contains interactive forums. So as the PDF evolved, we have said it containing these features, interactive forums, graphics, animations, all of these make the PDF more vulnerable to attacks and to vulnerable to attacks. So you can, through the PDF, spread a worm or spread a virus, because the PDF now contains interactive forums, multimedia, links. All of these can be infected by viruses or can be a way to infect a PC with a virus. Okay, so the first recommendation, okay, is to enable enhanced security, something an option in the PDF. Enhanced security protects the computer against threats by blocking or selectively permitting actions from trusted locations and files. So enhanced security features block certain links, certain scripts, certain animations that appears to be dangerous, and permit only, for example, to open certain files on trusted websites or trusted locations. So for example, in a PDF you can insert a link to open a certain location in your network, or a link to open a certain website. So by enhanced security feature, it opens only trusted locations in your network and trusted websites and trusted files. Okay, so enhanced security determines if the PDF is viewed within a standalone application. A threat to users of Adobe Reader DC is opening a PDF file that contains malicious executable content. So we need to enable enhanced security option in the Adobe Reader DC to protect our PDF. Protect our PDF from malicious links, malicious locations, malicious scripts. Okay, all of these should be done by enabling enhanced security feature in the Adobe Reader DC. So by the way, you will see that some of these recommendations are not applied using the Adobe Reader group policy template. Okay, the group policy template of Adobe Reader doesn't contain a group policy to enable enhanced feature. This will be done using a registry key. Okay, so when I was recording this video, the Adobe Reader template doesn't contain an option to open the enhanced security feature. Okay, so as you see here, that it tells you to enable a certain registry key, okay, to enable enhanced security feature in the Adobe Reader DC. Okay, because the Adobe Reader group policy template doesn't contain an option to activate this kind of feature, enhanced security standalone. So for example, here let me show you all. This was recorded 2021 when I got the new Adobe Reader template. As we see here, if we can see in security, here we can see something called enable enhanced security standalone. So this is enabled now in the Adobe Reader group policy template. Before, or when I was recording the video, okay, it wasn't there. This option wasn't there. So this group policy template wasn't there. It only contained general, and help and security and trust was not there. It's only general, preferences general. It didn't contain any of these folders or these group policies. So if you have the new group policy templates of Adobe Reader, you can just simply enable enhanced security standalone group policy, or if you don't have it, you can enable it using a registry key. So let's see how we can do this. So we need to go and enable this feature. You can enable it using the group policy, or you can enable it using a registry key. So let's see how we can do this. First, I need to install Adobe Reader on my PAO or workstation, so I can see the registry or the different registry keys, so I can apply it using a group policy. So first of all, I need to go to my PAO and then install the Adobe Reader DC, and then begin seeing how I can open or apply different options to the Adobe Reader DC using registry keys. Okay, so first of all, I need to go and install the Adobe Reader DC. You can install the latest version. So this is Adobe Reader 1901. So here I need to install this application, and then we will see how we can, through the registry key, apply different or activate different options using the registry key, okay, or using registry keys. Okay, so here I'm just installing the PDF, or sorry, I was just installing the Adobe Reader application. So here, for example, if you go and check the group policy of the Adobe Reader, we can open policies and see the Adobe Reader group policy templates. I will show you that it doesn't contain much. Okay, it doesn't contain only certain or very limited group policies, or very limited numbers of group policies. Okay, it doesn't contain a lot. Okay, now we will install the Adobe Reader and make it the default PDF viewer. We need to install it. We'll just pause until it is installed completely. Now we finish. Then we can open the Adobe Reader DC and accept the license agreement. Okay, now there is a pop-up, or a window will pop up asking you to accept the license agreement. Here it is, yes, accept the distribution license agreement. So accept. We can see that we can configure a group policy to accept the license agreement automatically on all PDFs or all Adobe Readers on all of our workstations. Now we will make a registry key, okay, to enable the enhanced security feature on Adobe Reader DC. Okay, as I said before, the group policy template that I was using when I was recording this video doesn't contain this feature. So if you can go there, as I said before, when I was working with the Adobe Reader group policy template, I didn't have this feature. Okay, it was not available. Okay, so I need to enable the enhanced security feature using as I said before, using a registry key. So we need to go and enable this feature from the registry key local machine, and then go to software. Okay, and then we need to go to software, then we need to go to policies, then Adobe, then Acrobat Reader DC, and then feature lockdown. Let's go to policies. So this key will be applied to all of the Adobe Readers programs. Adobe Reader DC, then lockdown feature. We will check it, or we will click on it, and then we will create a new key called B Enhanced Security. So here we will click on it, okay, and then select, and then we need to create a key, okay, that's called B Enhanced Security Standalone, okay, and we'll make it value of 1, okay. So this is how we can enable the enhanced security option in Adobe Reader DC. So we need to go, and now we need to create a key. This key will be called B Enhanced Security Standalone. Here I'm just checking my registry and see if I have this location there. So I need to go and just check my registry. If I go to policies, okay, and then I need to go to Adobe, and then to Acrobat, and then DC, and then lockdown features. So now I can see that I have already this registry key there, okay, or this registry is there already. So we need to go and create something called B Enhanced Security Standalone and give it 1. By doing this, we are enabling enhanced security option in Adobe Reader DC. Okay, so we need to close it and then go to the registry, okay, here, and then we need to put the value, and then we need to tell him reg dword and make it 1. By making this registry key, or by creating this registry key and running it, it will activate the enhanced security feature in the Adobe Reader DC. Now we need not to tell him to update the registry, but to create a new registry key, not to update an existing registry key, okay. So apply and okay, and then we need to go to the next recommendation. Okay, as we see here, I am activating it using a registry key, okay, and then the next recommendation says to enable enhanced security in a browser, okay. Here is saying that here you need to enable enhanced security when you are opening a PDF from the Adobe Reader DC program. So he's saying that he will enable enhanced security option when you are opening PDFs in the Adobe Reader DC program, okay. You need to enable enhanced feature also, okay, when you are opening PDFs in a browser, okay. So he's saying that enhanced security need to be enabled when you are opening PDFs in the Adobe Reader program, and the same enhanced security feature or option should be enabled when you are viewing a PDF within a browser, okay. You are logging in it within a browser, okay. So he's saying that enhanced security harden the application against risky actions, prevents cross-domain access, prohibits scripts and data injection, blocks stream access to X objects, silent printing and execution of high privileged JavaScript. So he's saying that the same description is stated here like the previous recommendation. The enhanced security feature protects the computer against threats by blocking and selectively permitting actions for trusted locations and files. So we enable enhanced security both when you are opening a PDF through the Adobe Reader DC program, or when you are opening a PDF through a browser, okay. So this also should be done, and also this will be enabled using a registry key, but this can be enabled directly, if you can see here, enabled directly from the group policy, because from the group policy template, because this is a new group policy templates for Adobe Reader. The one that I was using when I was recording the video was an old one. This section was not available in the old Adobe Reader DC group policy template. Okay, so you can now enable this one and this one. Let's see here the description. It's okay. He's saying enhanced security is a sandbox capability that restricts access to system resources. Standalone mode is when Acrobat opens the desktop PDF client. Okay, this is the one. And let's see what the browser is. A sandbox capability that restricts access to system resources. Browser mode is when a PDF is opened via the browser plugin. So there is some browsers that have the Adobe plugin installed, so you can open a PDF from a browser. Okay, we have said before that plugin and extensions are small programs that add additional features to the browser, so you can install an extension or a plugin that will open PDFs within a browser. Okay, so this is how we can enable it from the group policy, and we can enable it using a registry key. Let's see how we can enable it using a registry key. So we can go now and enable it by adding a new key. So here, just a moment, we need to go further again. So let's see here. Here we will go and in the same location feature lockdown, we will enable a key called Be Enhanced Security Browser, and you will give it a value of 1. The same as the previous recommendation, we will put a key, or we create a key called Be Enhanced Security Browser and give it number 1. This is how we can enable it using a registry key, and I have showed you all from the previous seconds or from a couple of seconds ago how we can enable it from the group policy. Okay, so now we can go and continue. The next recommendation, Adobe Reader DC must enable protected mode. Okay, it is saying that a threat to users of Adobe Reader DC is opening a PDF file that contains malicious executable content. Okay, protected mode provides a sandbox capability that prevents malicious PDF files from launching arbitrary executable files, writing to system directories or Windows registry. Just a moment. So here you are opening, when you open a PDF, it will be opened in protected mode. Okay, this is something like an option to prevent execution of codes or scripts, okay, that is contained within a PDF. Okay, sometimes there is some scripts or codes that are useful, and sometimes there is some codes and scripts that are harmful. So he's saying in protected mode he disables, okay, launching of arbitrary executable files or scripts. So this can be an advantage and a disadvantage. An advantage when you do not know this script or code, what does it do, or when this code is a virus. So this is good, it will prevent the execution of this code. But what if the code is something useful, or it does something, or it adds features or adds some functionality to the PDF? It will disable it and the PDF will not work properly. So we need to make sure that we can work with protected mode, and we can disable it when we need. Okay, so the isolation of PDF reduces the risk of security breaches in areas outside the sandbox. So here is saying that we need to enable the protected mode. Okay, but I think here the protected mode it have some advantages and disadvantages anyway. So when you enable a protected mode in a PDF, it will prevent launching of arbitrary executable files, scripts or codes, okay, that will maybe change system directories or Windows registry. This is something very similar to when you open a Word document that contains macros and it is opened in protected mode. When it is opened in protected mode, it disables the macro in the Word. Okay, so you can after that enable or remove this protected mode, so you can work with the Word and work with the macros, or the macros can be executed. And actually when the Word file it is in protected mode, you cannot edit it or make any changes in it. Okay, so protected modes, you can only view the Word document. So I think the same applies to the PDF. Okay, so the PDF, you can only view the PDF. Any other thing, for example, if there is macros or there is scripts, it will be blocked and be disabled. Okay, so we need to enable protected mode in Adobe Reader DC. So here also we'll do it using a registry key. Let's see how we can do this from a group policy. So we can enable protected view, I think, or protected mode. This is the protected view. So when we enable the protected view, this says to all files. Okay, so this is, I think we can enable it to all files or to potentially unsafe locations. Okay, or off. Okay, this can be used as you like, but let me see if there is another thing here. Protected mode, if we can see here the key, maybe he is referring here protected mode, it is protected view, maybe this is, maybe they are the same. Anyway, so to enable this feature we need to create a key and name it be protected mode and give it value of 1. Okay, so we need to go and create the key so it can be applied to the Adobe Reader, so the feature can be enabled. Okay, so we will go and create a registry key. So now we had made one key, and then we will create another key. Here I will copy the key and just change the name of the key. Okay, so you now can go now and change the name of the key to be protected mode. Okay, we will need it to be protected mode and make it to value of 1. Okay, copy be protected mode and make it to the value of 1. Okay, apply and okay, and then we will continue working with the other recommendations. Here if you go and check here, I will let you see the Adobe Reader DC okay group policy templates that I had when I was recording the video. Here we can see that it only contains general and startup. As for the new one that I have downloaded today and show you all, it contains a lot of things. There is general, and here we can see it was general and help, or general and startup. Here we can see that there is general, help, security, trust manager. So there is some changes in the group policy template of the Adobe Reader DC. If we go and check it, let's see here. If you go and check there, we can see here it doesn't contain any group policy. If you open general here, for example, it contains some group policies. Maybe there is here more. If you can go there, here's only one, so we can see there is some difference, and there is no security enhanced, there is no trust manager, there is no help. Okay, so this is why we need to activate these options using registry keys. Anyway, so we can see here that I don't have any of these group policies here in this group policy or this old group policy template. Here we tell him enable protected mode at startup. So this is one thing we need to enable protected mode at startup for any PDF. Okay, so this is something we can apply. This can be applied from here, and we can apply the protected mode from the registry section or Windows registry. Okay, so now we enable protected mode, and then I think here there is a difference between protected mode and protected view. So he's saying protected view, this restricts Adobe Reader functionality when an Adobe or a PDF is opened from an untrusted source. So let's see what is the difference between Adobe protected mode. So let's close this. What is the difference between protected mode and protected view? Adobe, let's see here, Adobe So here protected mode view feature for PDF. Here let's see, protected view means that most features are disabled. You can view the PDF but do not do much else. In the protected view, a yellow bar displays on the top of the Adobe Reader DC window. Click enable all features to exit the protected mode. Okay, so this is something like the protected mode in Word documents or in Office documents. As for this is protected view. As for protected mode, let's see what is Adobe protected mode. Okay, protected mode is a technique for creating confined execution environment for running untrusted programs. Okay, in the context of Adobe Reader, the untrusted programs is any PDF and processes it invokes. Okay, so here I think he will, in the protected mode, he disables the macros and any programs, untrusted programs. Let's see here. Trusted programs. Sandbox are typically used so and so if a process so the sandbox leverages the operating system security. So I think protected view it makes the PDF or you can disable different features in the PDF, something like scripts or so. And I think the protected mode is the same. Maybe they are talking with the same option or they do the same function. Okay, so we enable protected mode and protected view. Here we can see that for application, sandbox is a technique for creating confined execution environments for running untrusted programs. Okay, so when reader sandbox is enabled, reader assumes all PDF are potentially malicious and confines any processing they invoke to the sandbox. Okay, so here he will run any PDF in protected mode. So that means he will run it in a sandbox. He means in a sandbox any code. I think here, just a moment, let's go further again. Not protected view, here protected mode. So let's wait for the moment. Protected mode, we have done it. So let's go to protected view. So here protected view, he will open the PDF and let you only view it and disable any features. Okay, as for protected mode, he will open the PDF and we will run all of the codes or the scripts accompanying this PDF in a sandbox or in an isolated environment. Okay, so if this code is malicious or it is a virus, it will not affect the operating system. So I think this is the difference between protected mode and protected view. So protected view let you see the PDF, okay, view the PDF, but will disable different features in it. Okay, you cannot do anything to it. Okay, you cannot do anything, just only view and print. As for protected mode, it will open the PDF, it will open all of the features in it, okay, but it will run in an isolated environment. Okay, so this is it. I think this is the difference between this and protected mode and protected view. Okay, so maybe this is the difference between it. So assumes all PDF are potentially malicious and confines any processes they invoke to a sandbox. So all of the codes are run in an isolated environment. Okay, so this is, I think, the difference between protected mode and protected view. Okay, so let's now see how we can enable protected view using a registry key. But here, this one, it is for the protected view, it's not the protected mode. Okay, so protected mode, let me see if we can get it from here. So there is only protected view, help. Okay, protected mode, we cannot enable protected mode from group policy. We need to enable it using a registry key, but we can enable protected view from the group policy here. Okay, so let's continue and how we can enable protected view using a registry key. We need to do it and give it a value of 2. So you need to go and configure iProtected view, As we see here, I don't have much concerning this Adobe Reader group policy template. And try also to see the user side group policy templates. It doesn't contain anything. Okay, so we can see the Adobe Reader preferences. We have general and security. Okay, there is trust manager, so there is some changes. Okay, trust manager. Okay, there is general. Okay, so accept, just a moment here. If you go there, so if I can show you all something here. I need to see the general here, because there is a group policy that you can accept EULA or license agreement. So here you will enable this option, it will automatically accept the license agreement. Okay, so this is one good option we need to enable, because sometimes a PDF will not open unless the Adobe Reader DC license agreement is accepted. Now we will enable the protected view using a registry key, and you can enable it using a group policy. So we can enable it now using a registry key. Apply and OK, and we give it the value of 2. Apply and OK. So now we need to continue working with our recommendations. Now Adobe Reader must block websites. Clicking any link to the internet poses a potential security risk. Malicious websites can transfer harmful content or silently gather data. Adobe Reader documents can connect to websites, so you can insert a link in a PDF that will connect to a website, okay, which can pose a potential threat to the Department of Defense system. So this functionality must be blocked. However, PDF document workflows that are trusted, okay, can benefit from leveraging legitimate website access with minimal risk. Therefore, the ISSO may approve of website access and accept the risk if the access provides benefit and is a trusted site, or the risk associated with accessing the site has been mitigated. So if you disable this feature, any link inserted in a PDF, okay, will not work. So for example, if you have a PDF and there is a link inserted in it to connect to a website, it will not work. But if you trust that website, okay, then you can leave this option open. So you can leave the option of connecting to a website through a link inserted in a PDF. You can leave this option open, or you can disable it. You can block accessing websites completely from or from within the Adobe Reader DC, or from within the PDFs. Okay, so Adobe Reader must block all access to websites. Okay, so this should be also an option. Let's see also how this can be enabled. I think this will be enabled using also registry key. Let's see if we have this option in the Adobe Reader template. Here we can see automatically trust documents with valid certifications. General, okay, help and trust manager. So access to unknown websites. Okay, this is provides the ability for the users to store a list of websites with an associated behavior of allow, ask, or block. Websites not in the list is not trust. So here you can tell him what websites you trust. So if you insert a link to a trusted website, it will be enabled. If you insert a link to untrusted website, it will be blocked. So here, when you enable this one, he will always ask you if this website is trusted or not, or it will allow access or it will block access. Okay, so here, but what about if you tell him to allow? Here you can tell him edit preferences, trust manager, internet access from PDF files outside the web browser panel, change options, default behavior for websites are not in the above list. So here, how can I do or make a list by the allowed websites? So here we can allow trusted websites, we can block untrusted websites in the above list. But what are the above list? Okay, so let's see here. For example, if we tell him allow websites or access to websites, we tell him enable. custom, allow PDFs to access all websites, custom setting. So here custom setting can continue as it contains to websites in order to any internet access user is key. Custom trust internet access PDF. Okay, so I think here we need to make a list with the websites we need to access. So how we can do this? We need to go to something here, automatically trust, documents, help, or general. So we need to here how we can make a list, access to unknown websites, for users to store a list of websites with an associated behavior of allow, ask, or block. Websites not in this list is unknown. Okay, here we can edit preferences, trust manager, internet access from PDFs outside the web browser panel, change option, default behavior for the websites that are not in the above list. Oh, here he is asking adding trust manager internet access PDF within a browser panel. So I think we need to make a list. So here it assumes that you have a list of allowed websites. So if any other website is not in the list, it will block, okay, or it will ask you. Okay, so here every time you open those that are not in the above lists, how we can do this? Okay, allow opening of non-PDF attachments. Where is the above list here? How we can make a list of access to unknown websites, provides the ability for users to store a list of websites with an associated behavior of allow, ask, or block. Websites not in this list, it is unknown. Okay, always ask, allow, or block. So here you can always, when he open a link to a website, he will ask you to allow the website or to block the website. I think here he will store the allowed sites, okay, and he will store the blocked sites every time you open. For example, if I tell him always ask, and then some websites are allowed and some websites are blocked, he will store the allowed websites and he will store the blocked websites. He will not ask you every time, or he will not ask you to go to a website that you have allowed previously or blocked previously. Okay, I think this is it. You say trust manager internet access PDF from outside the web browser panel, change options, default behavior for websites that are not in the above list. So this is how you can enable accessing to certain websites. Access to websites, files may connect websites to share or to get information. So this is also one thing. Can contain URL that initiate connections to website in order to share or get information. This is another thing. Here you can also enable it, allow websites, access to websites, or block, or custom. What about the custom? Here custom, I don't think he's giving some readings about it or some description about it. So let's see, for example, how we can block access to all websites through a link or through a registry key. So we can do this using a registry key. We will create a registry key in a certain location to block all links to all websites, okay, when they are inserted in a PDF. But here the location of the registry key will be changed. It will not be under feature lockdown folder. Okay, so we can go to software and we can go to the policies and then Adobe Reader and then Acrobat and then DC and then feature lockdown, and then we can do to default URL permits or perms, and then under this folder or under this sub key, okay, we'll create a key. Okay, so we will make a key called IURL perms and give it the value of 1. So now this will block any links in any PDF. Okay, so this will block any link in any PDF. Okay, so number one, and okay. So let's continue. URL perms. The next recommendation is to block access to unknown websites. Because internet access is a potential security risk, clicking any unknown website link to the internet poses a potential risk. I think this is the group policy that I was working with. Okay, the other one is to block completely known websites and unknown websites. Okay, as for this, it will only block unknown websites. How we know that these unknown sites are risky or not, I don't know. Let's see how we can do this using a registry key. Okay, here is saying that gather data. Okay, maybe. Okay, so also I showed you on how we can disable or accessing to unknown websites. We have seen it in the Adobe Reader group policy template. Now we will do this using the registry. We will copy it and we will do this using a registry key. So we can go now and create a key. We will copy the same key and change the key name to unknown URL perms. Please test all of these settings, okay, before widely applying it to your domain. Okay, so now we will do this and we will add the key and apply and okay. So it is the value of 1. Okay, it is the value of 1, and then we will go to the next recommendation. I think it is 3, not 1. Anyway, I think let's go there. It is 3 or 1. Let's see the value, because I think the value is 3. Okay, yes, the value is 3, not 1. Okay, so we need to make it the value of 3. Anyway, we will continue working with the recommendation or the other recommendations. Here, Adobe Reader DC prevent opening files other than PDF or FDF. Okay, so Adobe Reader program must only open PDF files or FDF files. Any other files PDF should not open. Okay, attachments represent a potential security risk because they can contain malicious content, open other dangerous files, or launch applications. Certainly, file types such as .bin, .exe, .bat, and so on will be recognized as threats. So, only the Adobe Reader DC should open PDF files and FDF files. What are FDF files? Because I don't know it. What is FDF file? Is a text file format used by Adobe Acrobat. FDFs are used for the text files exported from PDF file. The FDF files are smaller than PDF because they only contain the forum field data and not the entire forum. Anyway, so how do I use an FDF? So anyway, it is some kind of a PDF, some kind of a format that the Adobe Reader DC knows, okay, or deals with. Okay, so we need to prevent opening any other files than PDF or FDF. Okay, so we need also to do this using a registry key. Let's see if we can do this using a group policy. You can go there and see if we can have this kind of option. So it's trusted. No, allow opening of non-PDF attachments within external applications. So this is another thing, not to open non-PDF file attachments, .exe files, .bat, .so and so. I think he will block non-PDF file attachments to be opened. This is something good also, but it is not what we are I think it's similar to what we are talking with now, but anyway, we'll apply it using a registry key. So we'll copy this value and only change the key name, so it will be ifile attachments perms. Copy and then we will change the key, okay, and give it the value of 1. Okay, I think this is it now. Let me see if we can stop at this minute, because I think we have more than 1 hour working, so it's about 50 minutes. Let's get another recommendation and then we will stop after that. So the next recommendation, DC must block flash content. Flash content is commonly hosted on a website page, but can also be embedded or inserted in a PDF and other documents. Flash could be used to surreptitiously install malware on the end user's computer. Okay, so flash content restricts Adobe Reader DC not to play flash content within a PDF. So a flash content is something like an animation. This animation could contain harmful script or codes, so we will disable activating flash content inserted within an Adobe Reader or within Adobe Reader PDF or Adobe Reader file. Okay, so this also should be done. Also, this will be used or it will be activated using a registry key. Let's see if also we can have this from we can activate it from the group policy, not through a registry key. So no, we don't have it. It's trusted browser, trusted. I think we don't have it. Let's see if we have also something here, preferences, trust manager. So we don't have this kind of option, so we need to activate it using a registry key. So we'll go and create a key to disable flash content within an Adobe Reader file. Okay, so we can do this and change enable flash, and we'll make it to 0. So 0 means disable, 1 means enable. Any other value could mean any other option. Okay, so enable content, or here we can make it to 0, not to 1. So we'll make it at 0 and apply and OK, and then I will stop at this recommendation. So let's see the next recommendation, and we will stop at the minute 58 seconds. At this recommendation, Adobe Reader DC must disable the ability to change the default handler. Hope this video informative to you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.